Hello there, what's going on everybody? It's JB here with another episode of the FIFA 17 Mark II Burnley Career Mode, and it's the start of the second season. We've got 3 full-length games for you. First of all, we've got Chelsea coming up in the curtain raiser, the Community Shield, and then it's the first home match of the season against Middlesbrough at Turf Moor, and then after that we're away at the King Power as we take on Craig Shakespeare's Leicester City side, although it is still managed on here, in this game anyway, by Cardi Ranieri. We have bought in some players. We bought, who have we bought in so far? We've sold Ashley Barnes. Harry Winks has come into the team, of course. That's a really good signing, $1.5 million. We've got Salah as well, sold there. And we bought Damari Gray and Brendan Galloway as well, so some good signings there, bit bargain basement, but still plenty to work on before we take on Chelsea. Still a lot to get sorted out to add to the squad, well also as well, but it's over to Wembley for the first game of the season. We took on Chelsea in the Community Shield knowing that a win will get our season up and running with a bit of silverware. Let's find out if we could beat Chelsea at Wembley. Well, here we are at Wembley for the first big occasion of the season, the traditional curtain raiser between the FA Cup winners Burnley on the left and Chelsea, the Premier League champions, on the right. Burnley incidentally finished second in last year's Premier League table behind their opponents today, and unveil at least one new face into their starting lineup. Damari Gray, signed from Leicester City for £5 million, makes his debut for the Clarets today. A real bargain of a player, buy for a player that's really excited and has got great ability on the ball and brilliant pace as well off the ball as well. And Damari in fact makes his Burnley debut alongside another Gray, Andre, who's partnered by Marcus Rashford again for the first time this season in attack. They really scored plenty of goals between them last season. Stephen Gerrard is amongst the bench, amongst the substitutes. Me and Keane, Hughes and Defoe keep their places as well in the centre and midfield and defence respectively. Tom Heaton is still the captain. And let's have a look at Chelsea as we look at John Stutzy there, the Burnley manager, and his opposite number to the right of him is Antonio Conte, who ran away with the league title by a long way last season and will be looking to do the same this season. Diego Costa will start up front with the likes of Romelu Lukaku and Eden Hazard on the bench. 5 in the midfield, 5 in defence there, Kallas and Ivanovic, the two centre backs as well, with a holding midfielder just in front, which could make pretty good tactical sense there for Chelsea. The man in charge this afternoon for this Community Shield game is Neil Swarbrick, and we're just about ready for the start. And here we go, terrific atmosphere as the traditional curtain raiser to the new season gets underway. Here's Alonso now for Chelsea. Palacic takes the ball for Chelsea. Good skills by him, but runs into Keane. Now Hughes. Sun, beautifully sunlight all over the place. Lots of shadows there, as you can see. And the ball being playing into the shade. Alonso now playing in the shade in the first half. It's a lovely warm summer's afternoon here, and the pitch looking truly immaculate as the ball comes over towards young Kane over on the far side. Opportunity here for the youngster, but Lawton getting in the way, and Hughes completing the clearance. Stephen Defoe now taking it up for Burnley. Hughes has continued his run and is well found, and that's a good ball towards Rashford. Now that's a good ball, and Hughes again continues his run. And Hughes, well, the angle was really tight and made it sort of really difficult to get his shot off. There it is again, just turning there, and he was leaning back and leaning off balance as soon as he shot there. 12 minutes of the first half completed, and the traditional curtain raiser to the new season, of course. The FA Community Shield, sponsored by McDonald's. Stephen Defoe, good ball. Nice ball into the path of Gray. Good turn again. And a shot coming in from Hughes, and then Rashford They're spiraling it over. I think the goalkeeper might have got a hand on this, I'm not sure. But there's the turn. Rashford turning. There's the shot. And just evades the hand of Begovic, so it went over the top anyway. Begovic takes the kick. Costa slipped there. No foul. Rashford takes it up now for Burnley. Good big dummy. Defoe in as well. Burnley playing with a bit of swagger about them. Here's Defoe. And wide again. Having plenty to say for himself, Stephen Defoe. Got his shot in, but just couldn't keep it down and didn't have the accuracy to beat the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper deciding to go short this time. This is Azpilicueta. It's a nice long ball over the top. And Alonso has beaten Lutton to the punch this time. Alonso has done terrifically well. Gets a decent little cross in there and they walked away. And now Damari Gray can bring it away. He's got Andre, his namesake, well up ahead of him. He's found Will Hughes, and Andre Gray has been found, but his first touch was heavy, and it allows Cesar Azpilicueta to get back. Now Alonso to Azpilicueta. Now Matic. Now Diego Costa. Azpilicueta once again. Run being made, but Keane was there. Good defending there by Michael Keane. And away come Burnley now. Gray to the right if he can be found, but Keane's ball was not a good one. Tried to back flick it, but I don't think it was the right thing for Michael Keane to do. Now Matic takes it up for Chelsea. 0-0 is the score. And the ball in behind him, Victor Moses can't get there. Andy Robertson could. Now Ben Mee. We've played over half an hour. Rodriguez. Pasalic. Matic. Pasalic again. Gray to Defoe and Damari Gray, good break. Two waiting in the centre, and Gray goes for goal. Oh, goes across the face, in fact, and doesn't miss by much here. I think he went for goal and just missed by an inch or two. 37 minutes of the first half gone. Still Burnley 0, Chelsea 0 in the 2017 FA Community Shield, sponsored by McDonald's. Here's Costa, and now Hughes to Gray. Good play this from Burnley, and again what a run this is by the hometown boy Jay Rodriguez. To the byline he goes, but again knocked away, but only as far as Robertson, and Gray went in there, went down. I don't think it was a penalty, that's for sure. Going up towards the last couple of minutes plus stoppage time in the first half. Here's Matic now for Chelsea. 0-0 in this Charity Community Shield game. Here's Alonso now for Chelsea on towards Pasalic. And he does well, Alonso. Decent run here. And he might just give Lutton the slip. Moses will keep it in on the far side here. And it gets a deflection off Andy Robertson. And it will be a corner to the men from Stamford Bridge. Moses to take it. Alonso's in there by the penalty spot. And that's towards Alonso, who scores! A real bloody ball for the FA Cup winners right on the stroke of half time. The league champions in front, and it's Marcos Alonso who's got the goal. Right deep in the time added on. The ball flew across, and despite an attempt by Robertson on the line to block it, the shot from Alonso was just too good. Frustration for Stutzi, delight for Conte, and Chelsea in the lead. Right on the stroke of half time, Marcos Alonso the scorer, and it's barely time for anything else as referee Swarbrick brings the first half to a close. So there we are, the first half full of incident, full of drama, and a late twist there at the end of the first half. Marcos Alonso has put Chelsea in the lead. Half time then at Wembley in the Charity Shield. Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. Welcome back to Wembley for the second half. Burnley trail Chelsea by a goal to 0 as the Clarets get underway, attacking the goal to our right, or to our left rather, in the second half, with Andre Gray, or rather Damari Gray, with the crossing from the left hand side and away by Azpilicueta. Chelsea, the league champions, with a goal late on in the first half from Marcos Alonso, which has really put Burnley right up against it now. Matic. Okay. Matic away, up towards Costa this time. Matic once more. Pascalic. Costa. Pascalic again. Moses, good tackle by Hughes. Burnley now need to get Demarai Gray, the player that they want to watch, on the ball, and here he is now. Oh, he's away from two. That's lovely skill for Demarai Gray. Now he plays his namesake, Andre. They're no relation, of course. And really opportunity there, gone begging for both Grays. Here's Rashford. Again, good disciplined Chelsea defending as we come up towards an hour gone. Still 1-0. Hughes with the tackle. Here's Kane. It's a nice ball in behind him. Moses is his own side, but he can't keep that in. In fact, there was a foul early on there, so the referee had to bring it back, and Will Hughes is into the book. This was what happened. I didn't see it initially. Yeah, it just takes out the Chelsea man there. Cesc Fabregas will come on to replace Mario Pasalic for the next half an hour, plus any stoppage time that may well remain. Robertson. Now Gray. Still 1-0 in this Community Shield match, of course, in association with McDonald's. And here's Gray. To Rashford. Good running by Rashford. Shot deflected, and that should go for a corner. No, it's not. It comes off a... It didn't. It's in fact, it's a goal kick to Chelsea as Alonso, the goal scorer, comes off to be replaced by Eden Hazard. And really, Alonso played his part and got the goal just before the break. Here's Kane. Didn't keep that in. Burnley have got themselves an opportunity to get the ball forward. They're going to play Middlesbrough in 6 days' time at Turf Moor, as they are making some substitutions to Clarets. Just the one. Stephen Gerrard, who scored the second goal here in the cup final back in May, replaces Will Hughes for the remainder of the second half. We're halfway through the second half in actual fact. Matic now for Chelsea. Costa now for Chelsea. Back to Matic once again. In decent second half, still 20 minutes of it to go. If it is still unlevel, we will go straight to a penalty shootout. And it's still Costa. And what's the referee giving here? Offside. Looks like against Diego Costa. Not much in it, I have to say. There you go. Now Demarai Gray. As you can see, Griezmann has gone to Manchester United. Big signing for him. Must have cost the best part of £100 million. That's what his probably rated is. What Burnley could do with somebody like Griezmann to get themselves out of trouble here, as Hazard takes it up on the far side. But again, Lod's in there first, getting it back to his goalkeeper. They don't have time really to pass the ball free-spirited. They have to get on with it, and Demarai Gray's trying to do just that. Keeps possession. Well, he did well to keep possession for as long as he did, and he ran out of options in the end, and now Victor Moses at the other end. Chelsea are looking for this killer second goal. Here's Fabregas. Decent deep enough cross, but King got it away. Now Gray takes it up. Good ball along the ground to Gray. This is Andre Gray now, running at some Chelsea defenders here. And here's Rashford. Big chance. Surely a penalty. David Luiz surely brought him down. Referee didn't want a nose Swarbrick. Well, it looked a penalty. I don't think David Luiz, his challenge was that particularly well timed. It was certainly on the clumsy side. It did look as if Rashford was about to pull the trigger, and He came from behind there, but he got away with it. Here's Damari Gray. One goal now would send it to penalties. Stephen Defoe, he's got through, he's got a bit of daylight. It's Stephen Defoe, he's in it straight at the defender. Defoe might get a second bite. He deflects, it comes to the hometown boy Rodriguez, he's onside. Defoe with a shot over the top. And there goes the final whistle. It's Chelsea who take the Community Shield. The cup winners beaten by the champions of England by a goal to nil. Alonso with the winning goal after 45 minutes. So there we are, and Chelsea will lift the FA Community Shield. Prince William, the President of the FA, Callas will receive it from His Royal Highness. And it's not Burnley, it's going to be Chelsea who lift the FA Community Shield for 2017. One goal was enough to separate Burnley and Chelsea. It's gone the way of the man from Stamford Bridge, the holders of the Premier League title. But it was a close run thing. Burnley did have chances, but they just couldn't find that finishing touch, and Chelsea proudly show off the Community Shield. But Burnley won't be downhearted. They've got a big league game to come up, but it's Chelsea who take the Community Shield for 2017. 1-0 winners over the Clarets today. It was a disappointing day really at Wembley for us, but we have signed another player since then. Charlie Adam, we bought him for £5 million from Stoke. He is 31 years old, bit on the experienced side, but we felt we needed that bit more experience in the centre of midfield to complement what we already had. And obviously younger lads, but the ever-aging Stephen Gerrard, who is with us at the moment, and I think signed a new contract with us as well for another year, so we have him for at least another season, which is great news for us going into the new domestic season. So as disappointing as we were to lose the Community Shield, hopes still had to be high for the visit of Middlesbrough on opening day. So that's where we'll go to. We'll go to the Turf Moor next now for a big game, as I say. Middlesbrough next up for us, and it was always going to be a tough afternoon for us, but we were red hot favourites to take Middlesbrough really today, and we've been doing really well recently, so this was an important opportunity for us. As I say, opening day is always bound to have its hazards, and you'd think that the Middlesbrough match would have no exception. But let's get over to Turf Moor for what was actually turned out to be a real classic between ourselves and Middlesbrough, a real 5-goal thriller coming right up for you now. Welcome along to Turf Moor as both Burnley and Middlesbrough begin their Premier League campaigns, knowing that they'll probably have it tougher second time around. Both teams certainly didn't need to avoid the drop. They stayed up. Well, Burnley certainly did more than most. They finished second behind Chelsea and won the cup last year. Middlesbrough certainly did more than enough to survive. Now it's a real case of how they will cope in this second season. And Burnley have added a new player to their ranks. Charlie Adam comes in. He replaces Will Hughes, who drops to the bench. Otherwise, and also Jay Rodriguez comes back in to replace Damari Gray. Otherwise, it's the same team that started against Chelsea last week in the Community Shield. As for Middlesbrough, in the old dark strip, it's going to be a tough test to Bartek Karanka. And he's gone with Jordan Rose up front on his own this afternoon, as we will look at their side now in just a second. They've got place on the flanks with both and Gabby and number 11 Victor Fisher. Darun will play as one of the two holding midfielders, and Stuart Downing amongst at least the 7 on the bench, as well as Christian Sirani, the Uruguayan international, as well. So we'll take a look at Charlie Adam, although it says Charlie on the caption, but don't let that put you off. Terrific player, been a great servant for Premier League football, started his career at Rangers, then went to Blackpool, and obviously he's had that long spell, and then had a spell at Anfield with Liverpool, and of course with Stoke. Referee is all set to get the season up and underway, and Middlesbrough in the dark shirts get us the season underway at Turf Moor. A very misty type Turf Moor here this afternoon. And Middlesbrough attacking the goal to our left here in this first half. Burnley, of course, going to the right where the Middlesbrough fans are in the cricket field stand away to my right. Here's Clayton to the Roon. Barrigan in a lot of space over on the far side. The Gabi might get in there, but Ben Mee got there first and just evaded the Middlesbrough challenger. Here's the Roon picking the ball up here for Borough. Bannigan again. Still Barrigan. Rodriguez intercepts here from Burnley. First goal's going to be crucial in this game. You forget the feeling. Here's Rashford. Did really well in his first Premier League season last year with the Clarets. Into his second loan spell here. And that's a good turn. And the shot got a deflection. And it's hooked away to safety by Middlesbrough. The good purples will start from Stutsy's lads, who finished second, of course, last year. 12 minutes gone. Here's Charlie Adam. Good intelligent ball to Ben Mee. Now Robertson. Oh, and lost it to Clayton. Now Gaston Ramirez picks it up. Rhodes takes the possession. And Adam Clayton has played in Jordan Rose. He's got De Roon in the centre. De Roon is fired over into the Jimmy McElroy stand. Well, that's a gilt-edged opportunity there for Middlesbrough to take the lead. And Marlon De Roon will be kicking himself. He didn't take advantage. 16 minutes went elapsed by the time that had happened. Here's Adam. It's a decent gotcha here. I think this is going to be a real exciting game of football. Both teams going at it a million miles an hour. Amber and Tongs. Here's Gaston Ramirez. Away from Ben Mee. And Rose is waiting in the centre. And they all went for it and missed it. Clayton will pick it up by the byline. And Snodgrass with the interception, which was a really good one in the end. Halfway through the first half now. Ramirez's corner. Asking a few questions, of course. Keane in there very well. And onside is Gray. This has got to be the first goal, surely. He's 1-on-1 with Valdez. 1-0. My heaven, he took that superbly well. The first goal in the league this season, and the man who got 19 goals in the Premier League last season when Burnley finished second behind Chelsea. He's off the mark in the first game of the season. A fabulous shot, kept his head and pointed it in with his left foot. And Burnley have the lead. A brilliant start for Andre Gray. A goal after 26 minutes puts Burnley in the lead, 1-0. Well, Middlesbrough will be disappointed. They had a decent start, but then Burnley have got into the game as it's gone on. And now Fabio for Middlesbrough. Fisher to Fabio. He's found Barr again, although the ball was a little bit of a dodgy one to play. Here's Clayton to Rhodes. Barr again. Had to check. Well, Barrigan. Now Clayton. Into Gaston Ramirez. Danger here for Burnley. And a good tackle there by Keane. Now Adam picks the ball up. And Burnley are on the break again. And Middlesbrough might not have sufficient numbers back because Rodriguez is onside. And there's two waiting in the centre for Jay Rodriguez. But Rodriguez goes alone and makes it 2-0. That's a fabulous goal. He had options to his right. But he went with his right foot and bang, in it went. Folders never stood a chance soon as he struck it. And Burnley now are on course for 3 important points. 10 to play to half time, just under. And the hometown boy has struck the second goal for Burnley. And Middlesbrough have been caught out on the counter-attack not once but twice in the space of 10 minutes. And that will hurt Karanka. as much as it'll please John Stutty in a way, because his team were attacking then and they just carelessly lost the ball. That's gone into touch for a goal kick. What a marvellous moment there for Burnley. 2 goals clear. Here's Gray. Looking for a third one, which would really put Middlesbrough really out of sight here. Fisher. That's a foul on Fisher. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Lowton just going across there. I don't think it was a yellow card offence. I have to say, far from it. I thought it was a free kick, nothing more, but I don't think it was a warranted of a yellow card, surely. It's a late tackle, but not sufficiently late or anything sufficiently dangerous. It's Ramirez with a free kick for Middlesbrough. Floated in there. And Rhodes with the shot, deflected, and Heaton goes in no trouble at all. So, a very satisfactory first 45 minutes if you're a Claret and Blue persuasion. Here's Adam. Could get even better here. I think there might be time for this last attack. Rashford couldn't get on the end of it this time, and there goes the whistle. Well, Burnley are in complete control. They score from 2 great counter-attack moves. First of all, Andre Gray with the first one after 25, 26 minutes, and then 10 minutes from the end, Jay Rodriguez has made it Burnley 2, Middlesbrough 0 at half-time. Changes from either side as we get this second half underway. Burnley 2 goals clear, Gray after 26 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, Jay Rodriguez to Magnucci now on the ball, adding to Burnley's lead. And here's Gray now. Burnley attacking the Jimmy McIlroy end in the second half. Here's Robertson, and here's Defoe now. A third Burnley goal would certainly kill the game off as a spectacle, as far as 2-horse race is concerned. And here's Fisher, and a chance there, and over the top from Darun. Big opportunity for the record signing, and he just couldn't finish it off. Lovely move from Middlesbrough. Beat Tom Heaton, but the ball was always rising as soon as he struck it, and it was rising into the into the cricket field stands rather. So 5 minutes of the second half gone. Stephen Defoe now for Burnley. Gaston Ramirez intercepts. Clayton. Rhodes back to Darun. And Darun goes down. That's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Ben Mee understandably frustrated. The referee was adamant. Ball played in. Just took him there at the last second. Just clipped him. So it's going to be Ramirez. Yes, it's going to be left for Ramirez. Through the wall. Well held, Tom Heaton. Good decoy run by Victor Fisher as well, but did really well, the goalkeeper. Good strike, but here's Snodgrass at the other end. Burnley looking for this killer third. Defoe to Rodriguez. Oh, lovely ball, and Charlie Adam now. Good chance, 3-0. And that surely does settle the issue now, without any doubt. Coming up towards an hour gone. First move of the game. Barnum, lovely one-touch football, and the shot from Adam inside the near post of Victor Valdez, who never even moved for the ball. And Middlesbrough showing out are sunk beyond trace. 3-0. And that surely settles any lingering doubts for any second. There's going to be some substitutions now for Burnley. Well, what a performance this has been. Charlie Adam, Stephen Defoe and Jay Rodriguez all make way. Will Hughes, Stephen Gerrard and Damari Gray all come on for a good half an hour or so to see what they can do now in the Premier League. All making their first appearance this season in the Premier League. 3-0 then. Charlie Adam, having just been substituted just then, making it 3. Nice way to get your debut off and running with a goal. And Middlesbrough now are in desperate trouble. 3 goals shipped away from home is not the start that Middlesbrough fans would have hoped for from their team today. Here's Hughes. Burnley trying to inflict a lot more damage on Middlesbrough now. Gray to Gray. Andre to Oh, brother, Damari to Andre, who shoots straight at the goalkeeper, who turns it behind and keeps the damage at 3-0 rather than 4-0 here. That's a good piece of goalkeeping. So a corner to Burnley, Snodgrass with it, Keane with a header. Darun taking an eternity to get that one away. Rose is slick, and here's Ramirez on the chase. In fact, Stuani has come on as well. Rose has knocked it in there towards the header, and it's just wide from Fisher. What a move that was from Middlesbrough. Good header, and just wide of Tom Heaton's far post. Substitution for Middlesbrough there. Antonio Barragan is going to be replaced by Emilio Insue. Mohawk player. Man with a Mohawk, I should really have said. Comes on, foul against Hughes. It looks a strange decision to me. But Middlesbrough got the decision rather dubiously. Clayton with a free kick, little chip in there. And might fall for Darun here inside the area. Darun with a shot, and it's gone in. In fact, it might have come off Stuani and in. But Middlesbrough are on the scoreboard, and it was a shot from Darun. Let's have a look at it again. Darun had the first effort, and it takes a Dinica off Stuani and past Heaton. So it's going to be the Uruguayan that claims it. There's the big deflection off him. So it's 3-1, and Stuani's claiming that goal, although it was a hit. It was hit though by Darun. The substitute has made the impact rather in an inopportune sort of way. Here's Rashford at the other end for Burnley, trying to make it 4-1. Oh my goodness me! Quarter of an hour still to this game to go, and we've had plenty of entertainment. 4 goals, plenty of missed opportunities, and lovely skill. And the only thing that's lacked in goodness is the Weber. And Mesut Ozil was gone from Arsenal to Barcelona for big money as well. But here's Ramirez now from Middlesbrough. Stuani, who claimed that goal there. It's been credited to him, despite the fact that Darun originally had the shot, and Sue takes a good run. Or all it does, and it's in. 3-2. And it's Fisher. Well, what a move again from Middlesbrough. And there was nothing lucky about that. It was a lovely move down the right hand side. Ball back across. And Victor Fisher from just inside the 6-yard box makes it 3-2 with just 9 minutes to go. And when Burnley looked as if they were going to cruise away with this game, well, Middlesbrough have suddenly got themselves back in contention. Here's Rashford at the other end. Good last-ditch tackle. Here's Clayton. My word. It's been some kind of finish this as Fabio. Keeps going, Fabio. Tell you what, if there's to be a next goal and Middlesbrough get it, my word, what a performance this could be. Towards Ayala. Ayala flicking it on. Stuani's in, but so too was Heaton. And he did really well, the Burnley keeper, because Stuani is a cool customer when he gets into those positions. Here's Robert Snodgrass now for Burnley. And here's Andre Gray. Surely this has got to be it. It's Gray. No, good tackle. It's a corner to Burnley. We're playing time added on for stoppages, 4 added minutes. Middlesbrough hook it out. The ball will be with Tom Heaton. Nobody within a 30-yard radius of him. Will Hughes showing there's not much time for Middlesbrough to go forward and get an equaliser, and there may be now winning soon. No, there isn't. The whistle has been blown to end an entertaining game of football. Goals from Gray, Rodriguez and Adam put Burnley 3 up in no time at all, with an hour gone in the second half, and then Stuani and Fisher made it a real nerve-tingling end for the Clarets. But Burnley have seen the job out and get their first 3 points on opening day in the Barclays in the Premier League this season. Final score here in an entertaining Premier League game: Burnley 3, Middlesbrough 2. Well, there we are. great result there for Burnley, although we really did leave it late, so we are fourth in the table, so it's a decent start. Obviously the table is obviously going to be really tight at the stage. We're a bunch of, we're one of 9 teams on 3 points, but we're in fourth place. Villa are the leaders on goal difference at the bottom. You've got Manchester City, Newcastle and Hull City. Of course Middlesbrough have played a game, won one and lost one of course to us, so they've already played 2 games, whereas as well as Norwich and Crystal Palace and Liverpool have, the rest of the teams, including Burnley, have all played a game each. So it was always going to be, so most of the other 16 teams all had a game in hand. But it was a good start for us. We needed to get off and running with an early season victory, and we got that. A nice little bounce back from that Charity Shield defeat to Chelsea, which really did hurt, to be fair. So that was always going to be a tough one for us. But having said all that, it was we were still looking to strengthen in the market. We actually made a bid for Christian Fuchs from Leicester. There was a few bids obviously in for a few of our players. Caricio, the goalkeeper, we were also looking at as well. But we had to get back to business at the league, and that was against Leicester City at King Power. Wasn't going to be easy by any stretch in the imagination. Could we keep our winning run going? Let's get to the King Power. Welcome along to the King Power Stadium, where Burnley played their second match of our second season of this Mark II Burnley career mode. The first away match of the season, and it's always a tough one against the former champions of the Premier League, Leicester City. 2 years on from their unbelievable triumph, they're still there trying to keep things going. But there is a few debutants, as you'll see in the lineups. Tom Heaton proudly leading out Burnley. And Paulo Oliveira is the centre back alongside Sebastian Langkamp, who's now the captain in place of Wes Morgan, who drops to the bench. It's Jamie Vardy and Soleimani up front, with Mahrez and Albrighton on the flanks. This really is going to be a tough baptism for Burnley. We finished second last year against all the odds, but he knows that Ranieri's men, although he is obviously sacked in real life, will find it difficult against John Stutzy's men, for absolutely sure. And Burnley pick their side. Graham Rashford get the nod up front. Snodgrass plays on the right, and I think Jay Rodriguez plays on the left there, which means Demarai Gray, a signing from Leicester, starts his return to the King Power amongst the substitutes. Beautiful sunlit afternoon here in the Midlands, and it should be a cracker. There's Paulo, comes from Portugal. 10.5 million he cost Leicester. Paulo Oliveira to give him his full name, and what a moment for him. So it's Leicester City in the blue, get us away, attacking the goal to our right. Burnley did, I tell you, of course, in claret and blue. So both teams in traditional colours. Here's Soleimani to Vardy, running into traffic. Here's Robertson to Stephen Defoe. And a long ball on the ground, I should say, to Andre Gray. Gray with his first effort, blocked by Oliveira, and then the shot back in, and the goalkeeper Zira having to turn that away for the opening corner of the game. Gray didn't give up on this and got his shot in. Goalkeeper should have really left that. I think it was going to go into the side net, even the goalkeeper couldn't take the risk of being beaten at his near post. Snodgrass with the corner. He'll get a second goal, will he? Yes, he's kept that in, and he was onside too. Gets the ball across, and it's a poor ball, and Albrighton will get that away for Leicester. Although his hands run out of pitch, so Burnley will try and keep the pressure on here with a throw. Taken quickly, Gray to Hughes, to Robertson. Looking for options, but he's lost out to Mahrez here. And Vardy plays it on to Soleimani, back to Vardy again, and Soleimani continues his run well. And Mahrez, flag is gone up. Oh no, the referee allowed it to go on for a little bit longer than it needed to be. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, ooh, it's very close, but that right leg was just offside. Wasn't much in it. right leg or so away from being flagged onside, and Burnley being in all sorts of trouble. Here's Will Hughes for Burnley. Wicket was taken quickly. Here's Snodgrass again. Takes the ball up well. Lovely control. Needs to flow into it. Surrounded by two Leicester City shirts, and then just plays a very unfortunately strong ball, which gives the ball away, but Leicester won't do much with that. Ball straight into Tom Heaton's hands. Here's Robertson to Rodriguez. Burnley, of course, on the back of a decent but nervy victory over Middlesbrough last week when they went 3 goals clear, but Middlesbrough came back into it and they could have actually snatched a point out of the game, which would have been a little bit ridiculous from Burnley's point of view, having had a 3-goal lead at one stage. They have a corner here, Snodgrass with it, and Rashford's header straight in the arms of Sealer. First step that we've seen at goal from Marcus Rashford in this first half. Here's Albrighton now for Leicester. Good ball to Somani, and Somani does well attacking down that left hand side. That's a good ball in there towards Albrighton. Little deflection on the cross, but it favours the goalkeeper Tom Heaton all day long, and Stephen Defoe can get it away for Burnley. Here's Robertson to Hughes. Oh, that's a nice ball. Now Gray has it, loses that to Schlupp. Brighton. Oh, lovely ball, onside. Somani's away, Vardy waits in the centre, and Keane was there. So too was me. Both players doubling up there to deny Leicester going any further. Here's Rashford, and Marty picks it up for Leicester. Now Vardy has it again. Now Mendy, back to Vardy. Good football again. Danger here for Burnley, but again Bentley snuffed out that danger zone. And then Ananas takes the ball for Leicester. 33 minutes of the game gone. Leicester starting to get a foothold into it, which is onerous now, considering they're the home team. So the onus is really on them to attack Burnley if they can. Soleimani, and Vardy gets a little bit fortunate, and still going Jamie Vardy, and a chance here for Mendy, and Mendy had scored. 1-0 to Leicester, and the King Power erupts. And he runs towards his manager in absolute delight. Mendy has made it 1-0. And Tom Heaton absolutely didn't have a price of saving it. The King Power goes absolutely bananas. There's the ball forward. And Mendy just took it out of his feet and just got enough time to get his shot off before Tom Heaton could get there and make the save. And cue scenes of unbridled joy around 3/4 of the King Power Stadium. John Stutty in absolute horror. And Burnley trail for the first time in the Premier League this season. 1-0 they trail. Somani now. Ben Mee stops him. Now Gray. Can Burnley hit back straight away? 5 minutes to go to half time. Here's Gray now on the run. He's up against Landcamp, and a good ball in. Rashford should score, but Zila has somehow saved it and keeps Burnley at bay. Good reaction from Burnley. Oh, he's hit it. To be fair to the goalkeeper, he didn't really have to do too much because Rashford made it easy for him to make the save. Burnley aren't finished yet. Snodgrass with the corner. Nodded out, and Vardy now picks up the loose ball. And this could be a real danger side here for Burnley, and Leicester are onside. It's Somani, and what a good piece of interception there from Tom Heaton, because if he'd have gone past Tom Heaton then it could have been 2. Robertson. Oliveira now wins it. The £10 million man from Portugal. Here's Vardy now, and there goes the half-time whistle blown by the referee. But Burnley, having made a decent start to the game, in all sorts of trouble, and it's Mendy's goal in the closing stages of the first half that separates these two teams, and plenty for John Stutty to ponder at half-time. Leicester City 1, Burnley 0. And welcome back to the King Power as Mendy, the goal scorer, is being substituted, and Danny Drinkwater comes in. And a Burnley substitution, Jay Rodriguez has come off, and on comes Damari Gray, the former Leicester player, now weighing against his old side. And there's no further changes as Burnley 1 goal down to that Mendy goal, who's now gone off, get us away, They're taking the goal to our right. And really now it's all about trying to stay in this game for as long as they can and maybe just snatch something out of it. Burnley here. It's Vardy now on the break for Leicester. And this could be danger. Old Brighton cuts inside, gets the decent looking crossing. Oh, tell you what, Somani was in half an inch away of getting his head on that, and if that had been sufficient contact, that might have been two. Burnley do clear it though with Hughes. Deflection just favours Oliveira though. Here's Old Brighton to Vardy. Good close control, little chip in there. Ben Mee was there. Can he get there? Somani beat him to it. Somani still there. Ben Mee snapping back as well as he might. And Defoe now getting on to Gray. And now Rashford. Good football this from Burnley. And here's Hughes. Has he got the space and the strength? Gray might know. We can get the ball in there. And Snodgrass with a ball in. Still might come here for Burnley. Stephen Defoe. Can he produce something? But Drinkwater nicks it away from him. Here's Vardy. Again Keane with a lovely little flick. And the loose ball favoured here for Defoe. And here's Rashford now with a chance. And what a good save by the goalkeeper. But still, Gray keeps it in for Burnley. Still they're not finished yet. It might come for Hughes. He's headed down. And he's wide. He's actually gone well wide of the target. And Leicester City survive. The goalkeeper Steeler making an early save early on in the move. And as you can see, finished with Hughes heading it well wide. Ahmed Musa now on for Jamie Vardy. Hasn't scored today, Vardy, but Musa could be in the move. But Zila has made two terrific world-class saves to keep Burnley at bay at the moment. This is Musa with his first touch. Still pretty isolated against the Burnley defence, but he's going all the way, and Ben Mee only stopped him at the last. Still, Leicester have it with Amati, little chip back, and Keane not with a very positive touch away. Slimani, still Slimani. Oh, he's hit it over the top, and Burnley somehow survived. 20 minutes gone in the second half, and Burnley really living on the edge here. Could have easily gone 2 down there. And they're still fighting in it at 1-0. Here's Snodgrass now. Hughes continues his run. Good little dummy by Hughes, but Gray can't find Hughes. Shupp is there for Leicester. But it gives it away to Stephen Defoe, but he runs into Drinkwater. And Marty now has it, and Mahrez is away. And Mahrez is away from his defender. It's Riyad Mahrez for Leicester. There are 3 waiting to his right. To his left, sorry. And in the end he tried to be too greedy, but still might come here for Hernandez, and the ball might bounce, but it bounces for Tom Heaton rather than Amati. And now it's all hands on deck now for Burnley, who now attack with Gray, and Gray has only got Rashford to his left. Hughes was making another run, but not quick enough. And now Old Brighton for Leicester. It's an all action second half, and still Leicester looking to try and sneak something out of this. Lowton is there. 13 minutes or so to go of this second half, and Lowton in there very hard, and I think he's been penalised. He's absolutely disgusted with the decision. Oh, it's a red card! Oh my days! Well, I didn't expect that one coming. I thought the referee might have just signed on the air of caution. It didn't look a particularly vicious challenge. But that looks a very harsh decision against Matt Lowton. Well, I'm not sure that's a red card offence. I think the referee has overreacted in that situation. A free kick perhaps, but not a red card in a million years. Absolute disgusting decision, but it's given Leicester a numerical advantage, but Mahrez can't take advantage of that. Now Burnley really have got it all to do now. Back to the wall with 10 men. 1-0 down, of course. Here's Rashford to Gray. And here's Hughes. There's still really men forward. And here's Rashford on the chase. He needs to get the ball back in across the 6-yard area. And Hughes has equalised with a 10 men. And maybe, just maybe, that's justice. There are 3,000 colours going absolutely berserk. And the 10 men who should never have gone down to 10 men through the most serious red card that the referee will ever give in his career. They've reacted superbly to going a man down. They've attacked Leicester from the free kick which broke down at the other end, and Will Hughes absolutely takes advantage for it, and Burnley now with 6 minutes to go are on the verge of a point. 1-1. Well, I just think that it's just given Burnley that little bit more impotence. They may be down to 10 men, unjust in my opinion, because that Lowton foul was never a red card, but Burnley have risen above that decision and counter-attacked superbly well, and now they're on the verge of a really good point here at the King Power, and they might even have a chance of getting all three, because Gray's on the break and he's got a gap through the middle, and if he plays it right, it could be a chance for Gray. In fact, it was Rashford with the early ball in, and Gray still has it. And Rashford's still waiting in the middle. And here's Snodgrass. Snodgrass deflected, and it will be a corner. And Burnley now, despite having a numerical disadvantage, are asking all the questions right at the end. There's the corner. Drinkwater just got something on it. Hughes, the man with the equaliser. Can he get away from his man? Hughes over the top. But it won't matter too much, because Burnley have battled and battled and at least deserve a point. For all their endeavours today, they've really worked their socks off. And the injustice of going down to 10 men may make that draw that little bit more easy to stomach. Although Gray has picked up an injury, but there goes the full-time whistle. What an action-packed 90 minutes you have seen before your very eyes. Leicester took the lead before half-time. A goal from Mendy put them one up. Then in the second half, Matt Lowton got sent off for an absolute nothing challenge. Real disgusting decision. And then Will Hughes moments later saved the 10 men a crucial point with a late equaliser. It's finished here. Leicester 1, Burnley 1. Good point there against all the odds for the Clarets, who keeps us in 4th place on goal difference. In fact, we're joint top now. There's 6 clubs that have 4 points. Villa, West Brom, Spurs, ourselves, Arsenal and Manchester United. The bottom 3, Liverpool, Watford and Hull, occupy the bottom 3 at the moment. Oh, yeah. And of course, Stoke and Leicester yet to win, and Swansea, Everton and Stoke, Leicester, Watford and bottom side Hull yet to win a game at the moment. But as I say, it's a long way to go in the course of a season. But I thought against Leicester, Leicester, to be fair, I thought played really well. They played terrifically well. Certainly first half deserved their lead, but there were a few decisions in that game which was really disappointing. The red card, which was totally unjust, I felt, on the day, and but not long after that we survived the free kick, and we went through to get the equaliser, and cue scenes of Barbie commentary from my good self. So there we go. But no, really pleased with the way that we fought back, and with 10 men I think that's an even better achievement, because we had like one less player than what they did, and yet we counter-attacked really, but the Clarets counter-attacked really swiftly, and Leicester couldn't live with that, and it was brilliant to see. And but we're unbeaten. No, that's not a bad thing at the moment. 4 points. Anyway, these are some of the signings that we've brought in at the moment. Christian Fuchs has come, and so too is Carrizo. He's going to be our backup goalkeeper in case he gets injured. Scott Arfield has gone to Hull City for 1.6 million. So there has been some transfer activity going on at the moment. So been really interesting to see how that one came out. So still about a good 7 or 8 days for us to do a little bit more damage in the transfer window and try and prop up that squad as best we can. That brings us to the end now of this episode. We'll be back with another 3 games, starting of course with Newcastle, Everton and Zenit St Petersburg will be the games featured. Hope you can join us then for another episode. Until then, from me, JB, have a very good evening, take care, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget the Twitter address, everything you need at the end of the programme. But from me, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.